Okay, so should we start? Devendra, should we start?
Sir, from my side, I'm ready.
Okay. So, dear participants, now we are having post session, first session, and we are having Dr. Devendra Pratap. He is presently Deputy Registrar Finance in Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras in the university. He is dealing with new pension system in his institution. So he is the person who is actually dealing and handling all those issues, whatever is coming. So he's the right person to talk on national pension system. And you all, as we are expecting, you all are covered under NPS. So you may be having many doubts on this. So be ready with your questions, and I invite Dr. Devendra to start his presentation on national pension system. And sir, we are having nearly 28 or 29 participants in the session. So far 21 has joined.
Okay, sir. Okay. So, if you permit, I can start.
Okay. So now time is yours, sir. You can start your session.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to all the participants. As sir has already introduced me, so I will not say anything. So I will directly coming to my presentation, which is on national pension system. Friends, as you all, as you all are very much aware that the new pension system have been started by the government of India from 1st of April, January 2004. And prior to that, there was an old pension scheme, which is a General Provident Fund under GPF. So I will first start with the genesis why this NPS came into the existence. So in 1999, the government of India had set up a commission on a national project entitled OSIS, Old Age Social and Income Security, to examine the policy related to old age issues and their security in India. Based on the recommendation of OSIS report, the government of India introduced a new defined contributory pension scheme, that is new pension scheme for the new entrants in the central government system or the state government system, except it was not applicable for the armed forces. So in 99, government had set up a committee on the basis of whose report the government had came up with an NPS. And to regulate the NPS on 23rd August 2003, an interim pension fund regulatory and development authority was set up by the government so that it can be regularized and properly monitored. The contributory pension system was notified by the government of India on 22nd of December 2003 with the name of National Pension Scheme, which is later changed to National Pension System, which was effective from 1st of January 2004. The NPS was initially it was started for the government employees only in the government and central government and state government sector, but later on in 2009 it was extended to unorganized sector, corporate sector, so that maximum peoples can be covered in the NPS. So earlier it was known with new pension scheme. From when it was extended to other unorganized sector and corporate sector, it was and voluntarily anybody can join who is not covered under in any of these sectors. So from 1st May 2009, it was known as National Pension System. PFRD, which was set up in 2003 as an interim regulatory, was later passed by an act of parliament, and on 19th September 2003, the same was notified in February 2014. PFRD is regulating NPS subscribed by the employees of Government of India, state government, or by private. Private organization or organized sector. The PFRD is ensuring the orderly growth and development of the pension market. Then there is a CRA, it's a central record keeping agency associated with the NPS, whose task is to keep the records of the every um, transactions or related documents of the subscriber, like plan generation and everything. Initially, there was two CRA. One was NFDL, National Security Depository Limited, and the second was Carvi Finance. So later, the CAMS is also added in the last year, and last year only it's the NFDL name was changed at Protein E-Government Technology Limited. So most of the central government offices, normally NSDL looks after this work of the NPS and act as a CRA. And in some offices, KFIN is also there. So basically, these are the three CRA who keep the records of the subscribers, and there is facility to move from one CRA to another CRA, which I will discuss later on. As we all know, that it's a market defined contributory scheme. So those who have been covered under NPS and have the watch on this market growth, they must be aware that during April, May, and June, during the Russia-Ukraine war, the market was crashed. So the NPS group, this return on NPS is also negative at that time. It is a mandatory contribution scheme, which means that the subscriber don't have any option. Everybody who have joined the central government or state government, they have to be mandatorily covered under this, and it is the responsibility of the nodal office to get everything done from the subscriber side. Now the employees can have the right to voluntarily make the contribution under their Tier 1 account or Tier 2 account, which I'll share later on. Funds are managed by the fund managers. They are both from the public and private sector with the proven track records. And it's a two-tier system. This is the overall architecture of the NPS. If my mouse cursor is visible, this is PFRDA, which is at the apex. This is NPS Trust, which is basically responsible for all the financial transactions and benefits to be extended to the subscriber. Then there is Trustee Bank. You can see here that in the blue, I have shown this information flow, and in the red color, it is fund flow, how fund is actually flowing. So I will try to explain you that, see, from our salary, we deduct, the office deduct the NPS, again 10% from our account, and remaining 14% the office share from their side. So as a nodal office, what they do, that they upload the deducted amount of all employees to the CRA NPS scan website, where they have the nodal office ID, and by converting it into the desired format. So after uploading the contribution, there is a challan is generated, against which the office is required to deposit the entire amount through their bank to the trustee bank of an NPS, be it of NRDL or CRA or KFIN or of CAMS. So whatever the office have opted, they have to deposit in that. The trustee bank normally receives amount in one day, and after that they used to distribute this amount to the pension fund managers, whom actually opted by the subscriber. And the same is at the same time it will be reflecting in subscribers transaction statement. All those subscribers who have updated their email or their mobile number, once the contribution uploaded on their account, their PRAN account, then it will be a message will be sent from the NSDL side or their respective CRA side to them that the contribution for the particular month have been uploaded. This is the CRA who is actually responsible for maintaining all the records. You can see here that there is an arrow downward to annuity service providers. Actually, this is because the annuity service provider is one who is registered with the IRDA, to provide the pension services to the retired government servants. So post-retirement, I will explain it in detail in later. Just I am showing you that once the subscriber retires, the office processes their withdrawal, and 60% maximum up to 60% is well, paid to the employee as a lump sum, and remaining 40% is transferred to the chosen ASP, and the ASP in by investing that money keeps on is giving the pension either on per month basis or quarterly or half yearly or yearly, whatever the employee choose, to the subscriber. So these are the number of details of the subscriber registered with from the different sector in NPS as on 30th of April. So more than 22 lakhs from the central government, 56 lakhs from the state government. Then from corporate sector is there, and unorganized sector is there. Then NPS Avalambhan is there, and anybody can directly join NPS through eNPS. So more than 1.5 crore subscribers are there in different under different schemes. NPS Trust was established by PFRDA as per the provision of Indian Trust Act 1882 for taking care of all the assets and funds under the NPS in the best interest of the subscriber. As I already mentioned that NPS Trust is responsible for all the financial transactions done by either the office or by the subscriber. So it keeps on watching what is happening. The powers, function and duty of NPS Trust are laid under the PFRDA Regulation Act 2015. NPS Trust is the registered owner of all assets under NPS architecture, which is held for the benefit of the subscriber under NPS. The securities are purchased by the pension funds on behalf of and in the name of trustee. However, the individual subscriber remains the beneficial owner in the security. NPS Trust under the NPS Trust regulation is responsible for monitoring the operational functions activities of NPS intermediary, custodian, pension funds, trustee banks, CRA, point of presence. Point of presence means office which actually act as an intermediary between the nodal office and the CRA. Whatever we have to generate get generated the PRAN ID of any or of our new joining employee. So what we do, we used to get the CSRF1 form filled by the employee, and after verification and authorization, we used to send it to the respective point of presence nearby in the city, so that they can generate and forward it to the NPS for further action at their end. So NPS Trust issue instruction to the custodian, pension fund manager, and trustee bank. It issues the regular investment guidelines. It issues the direction to pension fund for protecting the interest of the subscriber, ensuring compliance through audit by independent auditors. It also regularly review the performance of each fund manager which are registered with the NPS. Earlier in the beginning, only government pension fund managers were there, but later on the government allowed the private fund managers, and as of now more than 10 fund managers are there, mostly from the private sector, who are managing our funds. As I already mentioned about the CR, it's a central record keeping agency whose task is to keep the records, administer and customer service function of NPS, all NPS subscribers. Like if you have any issue with your PRAN or with your NPS account, then you have to consult to your respective CRA for that, and they actually help. Like the first task is you can consult with your nodal office, that is your office, and if the office fails to solve the issue, either you can write to CRA through your office or you can directly contact them. They will help. CRA is responsible for issuing the unique permanent retirement account number, that is PRAN, to each subscriber. This is our permanent account in which in our all contributions are recorded or kept. Even if let us say that a subscriber is working at somewhere and on higher position or at the same position, if moves to some other organization, be it in the same level of organization, be it a central government, be it a state government or a private sector, the PRAN number will remain the same. It will not be changed. Only the thing what the nodal office has to do is that they have to just map that ID with their nodal office ID. Maintaining database of all plans issued and recording transaction relating to each subscriber's plan. CRA, actually whatever we see in our transaction statement, it has been posted by the CRA. Once the office transfer the amount to the trustee bank, so trustee bank inform the CRA that we have received this fund against this challan. So CRA through the system post that transaction to the individual subscriber's account. Issuance of PRAN transaction statement. So CRA is responsible for issuing the transaction statement for each PRAN. Acting as operational interface between PFRD. Actually, PFRD is a regulatory body. So it is responsible for making all the policy decisions that whatever is happening in the NPS. CRA role is to keep only the records. NPS trust is to keep on the financial transactions, but it is the CRA who issue the guidelines and under which the offices and the CRA both works. Now, key features of the NPS. As we all know that NPS is a fully transparent, web-enabled, easy to understand system. Whatever is happening with the account, anybody can see at any point of time from any place. As it is a web-based system, it is easy to understand. There is nothing hidden. Whatever is happening, everything is recorded in as a log in your transaction statement. You can see where the money is coming from and where it is going. PRAN portability, as I already mentioned that once the PRAN is generated, it is permanent till the person is in the NPS or till its retirement or till the withdrawal is processed or the PRAN is closed. So once the PRAN is generated from any of the sector, it can be transferred or moved mapped to any other sector at any place. It is a secure web-based interface provided to the subscriber. The web-based is secured, and you can see all the people must be knowing that it is HTTPS. So there is no issue regarding the any theft or like that. Unique IP allotted to subscriber with periodical password changing policy. To each subscriber, when the PRAN is generated, a unique internet pin is allotted with which they can log in and change their password. NPS has already have also the provision of periodical password changing policy. Like if you will not change your policy, once you will log in, the system will say that your password is so much old, just change it immediately. NPS account can be operated from anywhere in the country, irrespective of the employment and geography. Can be accessed from anywhere as it is web-based, so there is no issue in accessing it from other places. Subscriber can shift from one sector to another. As I have already mentioned that PRAN is portable. Subscriber from an organized sector can move to central government with the same account, or from a state government can move to the central government. From central government can he or she move to private sector. So it is completely operable, and it can easily be transferred. There is just intersector shifting is a form which subscriber needs to fill and submit it to the respective nodal office ID, and the office will map. subscriber can avail the below services. Like they have the option to keep to choose the investment pattern of their money, how they want to invest it. They have the option to choose who will be their fund manager, means who will invest their fund, whatever the contribution or corpus is there in the individual account. Individual have the option to choose who will invest their money. The individual have the option to view their transaction history. So fund manager, whatever the units allotted to them, what are the NAV and what is the present investment value. They can take the transactions statement printout and raise grievance online against any intermediary. Under NPS, there are two types of accounts are available. One is Tier 1 account, another one is Tier 2 account. So Tier 1 is a default account. By default account, once the plan is generated, so Tier 1 account is opened, under which the mandatory contribution is transferred by the nodal office by deducting it from the subscriber's salary and by giving the 14% amount from office side. It's a non-withdrawable account, which means that you cannot withdraw the amount from by your own. Tier 2 account is a voluntary savings facility. Subscriber will be free to withdraw his savings from the account. It's a Tier 2 account, in fact, is like our bank account. Simply the way we withdraw from our bank account, the same way we can withdraw from the Tier 2 account. The benefit of Tier 2 account is that the investment pattern will be of same as that in the Tier 2 account, Tier 1 account. Now, contribution. So basically, there are two types of contribution. One is mandatory contribution, another one is voluntary contribution. So in NPS, earlier when it was started with the concept that 10% contribution of basic plus DA will be done by the employee, and the matching amount will be contributed by the employer. From 1st of April 2019, the government has enhanced the employer's contribution part to 14% from 10%. So now in every office, I hope that 10% and 14%, total 24% of basic plus DA is deposited in their plan account. Besides this 24%, subscriber have the option to deposit by their own maximum to rupees 50,000 under they can deposit any figure, but they can avail maximum to 50,000 benefit under 86 CDB 1B in income tax. Minimum, there is also some ceilings, like minimum per transaction contribution is rupees 500 and minimum annual contribution is rupees 1,000. Let us say that I have seen the cases like in our region, particularly the primary school teachers, they are continuously writing to the government and fighting with the government or old pension scheme. So what they are doing, that the government is adamant that they will not be extending OPS or old pension scheme to anyone. So they are forcing the staff to go for NPS, but staffs are still reluctant and they are not joining the NPS. So they have plan account, but they are the contribution is they are not providing it to the office so that the contribution can be started. So their account is freezed. So you have to minimum contribution per annual in rupees 1,000, so that it cannot be freed. To keep your ID active, you have to minimum contribute rupees 1,000 annually. Or if let us say that if your account is freed, then your nodal office or you can contribute more than 1,000 or like 1,200, then your account will be active and some unfreeze charges are there with they take. Then there is a interest payment option. In case of delay, due to the factors not attributable to the subscriber, which means that let us say that last working day of the month is your salary payment date. So your contribution should be reached to your PRAN account latest by 3 or 4 the next month. But in case your contribution have been deducted from your salary and the nodal office had not transferred for months or 2 months, so in that case you can ask for your nodal office to pay the interest, because that delay is not attributable to the subscriber. That's it. And there is a provision in the NPS Act that if a delay arises and that is not attributable to the subscriber, then the office have to pay deposit the contribution along with the applicable interest in the respective PRAN account of the subscriber. And this rate of interest will be as of that is prevailing for PF, that is GPF. So this is how the PRAN actually looks like. It's a 12-digit unique number issued by the government of India. And in case it is lost or stolen, there is the provision for reprint of the PRAN card on chargeable basis. In this PRAN, your name, your father name, date of birth, PRAN number, subscriber signature, and subscriber photo is there. So it's a one-time document, so we have to keep it very safely, because at the time of superannuation or whenever we want to get from the NPS system, we have to deposit it to the nodal office. PRAN portability I have already discussed. NPS account can be operated from anywhere in the country. It's a two-tier system. You all know that Tier 1 account that did not allow any NPS employee to withdraw his savings prematurely. Tier 1 is mandatory for all the government servant joining government service on or after 1/1/2004. Then Tier 2 account, I have already mentioned that it is voluntary saving scheme that permits withdrawal of one's contribution. In Tier 2 account, there will be no matching contribution from the government. It's your own account. You have to voluntarily contribute. You can withdraw it at any point of time. Nodal office or government has nothing to do with the Tier 2 account. Even they cannot deposit a single penny on your behalf in this account. These assets of the Tier 2 account would be managed in the same manner as the pension. The accumulation in this account can be withdrawn any point of time because of any reason. Any subscriber in NPS having active Tier 1 account has the option to open the Tier 2 account. For opening Tier 2, you need to have Tier 1 account. So now we have understand what is actually NPS and how contribution is made. Now withdrawal or exit. So basically like GPF or CPF, which were earlier prior to 2004, the schemes were there. So there were lots of flexibility, but in NPS there is very minimum flexibility. Like for partial withdrawal, one need to have minimum 3 years of service. Maximum 3 partial withdrawal are allowed during the entire duration of the service. So it is very tough for NPS employees to, although the money is there, but they cannot withdraw. Up to 25% of accumulated pension wealth of the employee's contribution. Let us say that in your account, 10 lakhs is there. Out of that 10 lakhs, 4.5 lakhs is there for, or 5 lakhs is there for employee share, and the remaining is of employers. So when you will process your withdrawal, partial withdrawal for any of the region, as mentioned in the point D, then only 25% of the available corpus of employee share, that is of 5 lakhs, will be allowed by the system to withdraw. So which means that you have 10 lakhs, but you can withdraw only 1.25 lakhs, maximum 1.25 lakhs. But while had it been the case in the GPF or CPF, you can withdraw, we have the option to withdraw up to 90% at any point of time. Then there is another withdrawal option is premature exit before the age of superannuation. Many cases are there where the employee wants to exit from the NPS and to join the setup where EPF or some other contributory scheme is there. So in that case, if the subscriber wants to exit from the NPS system, so there is a restriction, like if their total corpus, by including employee, employer share, and accumulated interest, is below rupees 2.5 lakhs, then whole amount will be paid to the subscriber. And if the corpus is higher than 2.5 lakhs, then the subscriber is required to utilize 80% for purchase of annuity, and the balance 20% will be paid as a lump sum. Which means that if you have any amount above 2.5 lakhs, the 80% of your total corpus will be utilized for purchase of annuity, that is for pension, and the only 20% will be paid to you at the time of exit from the system. Then normal exit on or after superannuation. Once the employee superannuates either at 60 or at 65 or at 62 and further norms, then if the total corpus is equal to or below rupees 5 lakhs, total amount can be paid to the subscriber. If the corpus is higher than rupees 5 lakhs, the subscriber is required to utilize at least 40% of total corpus for purchase of annuity, and the balance 60% will be paid as a lump sum. Which means that you can purchase you can utilize 100% of your total corpus for purchase of annuity or pension, getting pension, but maximum, but lump sum payment will be restricted maximum to 60% only. Beyond 60%, you cannot withdraw. In the case of death of the subscriber, if the corpus, in the case of death of a subscriber during the service, if the corpus of the subscriber at the time of death is below 5 lakhs, then lump sum will be paid to the nominee or the legal heir. If the corpus is higher than the 5 lakh, again the same rule will be applied. At least 80% is required to be utilized for purchase of annuity by the dependents, and the balance 20% will be paid as a lump sum. If none of the dependent family members, either spouse, father, mother, are alive, unfortunately, then the 20% is to be paid as a lump sum to the nominee or the legal heir, and the balance 80% payable to the surviving children of the subscriber or to the legal heir. This is most important part in the NPS. It's our money, so we are very much interested where the money is actually going and for investment. So in NPS, subscriber is required to choose the pension fund manager as well as the scheme for preference while registering with the CRA. This option is available in the CSRF1 form. When you fill the form for registration, at there only you will get the option to choose the pension fund manager. If you won't choose, the auto choice will be there, and by default options will be applicable. It's a flexibility. Earlier it was not there. Later on, after 2019, it has been started, and the flexibility system the government has given to the subscriber that they can opt for their fund manager. As I have already mentioned that in NPS there are multiple fund manager investment option is available, auto or active. Then there are asset classes are there, like where you want to that your money should be invested either in equity, corporate bond, government bond, or alternative investment also. The subscriber have to first select the pension fund manager, and post selection of the pension fund manager, subscriber have the option to select any one of the investment option. I'll discuss it in detail and I'll show you also. This is what I have mentioned. The government subscriber with effect from April 2019 have the option of selecting the pension fund and investment pattern in Tier 1 account. If the choice is not exercised by the subscriber, the NPS contribution would be invested in the existing default scheme of the three pension fund managers, LIC, SBI, and UTI. Prior to 2019, only these three fund managers were there who were looking after the entire investment of the government sector. Then we subscriber can select any one of the investment scheme. Like by default, if you will not opt any investment scheme, then by default the entire amount will be invested in LIC, UTI, and SBI. Then the subscriber have the option of scheme G. Actually, I have mentioned only scheme G because for government sector, only scheme G is applicable. Equity or corporate bonds are not available. So 100% of contributions shall be invested in government bonds and related instruments. Then there are some investment schemes like when you have will choose auto choice, then the LC50 and the LC25 will be there. I'll show you later on. So these are the some of the fund managers available under NPS. LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, then SBI, UTI. These are the three government sector fund managers which are available with the government sector employee, and government sector employee do not have the option to go for with the private fund managers. Then there is ICICI, Kotak, LDFC, Birla Sun Life, and some more have been added recently as a private fund manager. Friends, you must be aware, you must have seen that once when you fill the CSRF one form for registration. So at that time, while filling the form, you need to exercise the investment option. So there are two types of investment option is there available in the NPS. One is auto choice, another is active choice. So in active choice, normally those subscribers who have the knowledge of investment, and in active choice, the subscriber has the right to actively decide as to how his or her contribution is to be invested based on personal preference. So a layman or a subscriber who do not have the finance knowledge or who do not have the depth knowledge of the market, so normally they should not opt for active. They should go with the auto choice because investment is a big deal, and subscriber had to provide the PFM asset class as well as percentage allocation in active choice when they will opt in for it. So there are 4 asset classes: equity, the most risky class, corporate debts, government bond, and alternative investment fund, from which the allocation is to be specified on the single prudent fund manager. But for government employees, only class G is available. Then there is second option is auto choice, life cycle fund. It's a by default scheme. If you will not opt anything, by default the system will allot you keep you in auto choice. NPS offers an easy option for those subscribers who do not have the required knowledge or to manage their NPS investment. In this option, the investment will be made in a life cycle fund. Here, the proportion of fund invested across 3 asset classes, which will be determined by a predefined portfolio, which can be changed by the subscriber. So, a subscriber who wants to automatically reduce the exposure to more risky investment options as he or she gets older, auto choice is the best option. As the age increases, the individual exposure to equity and corporate debt tends to decrease. Depending upon the risk appetite of the subscriber, there are 3 different options available within auto choice: aggressive, moderate, and conservative. So, in auto choice, there are 3 options: LC 75, LC 25, 50, and LC 25. I have not taken LC 75 because that is not available for the government sector. In LC 75, if you will enter before attaining the age of 35, your 75% of your total investment will be goes in equity. So higher the risk, higher the gain often will be there. More in equity, there is higher risk. So if return, we can see the equity gives the maximum return at the same time. But for a safer side, if we join at an age earlier than 35, so by default, the moderate life cycle LC50 is a default scheme under auto choice. Under this, provides cap of 50% of total asset or equity in the investment. The exposure in equity investment starts with 50% till 35 years of age and gradually reduces as per the age of the subscriber increase. As the age of the subscriber increase, the risk factor, the investment in equity will reduce and the equity in government bonds will increase. You can see here that before 35 or by the age of 35, the 50% of total corpus is invested. The default is in equity, 30% in corporate bond, and remaining 20% in government bond. This 50 is decreasing as the age of the subscriber is increasing, and the equity is decreasing. Corporate class bond investment is also decreasing, but investment in government bonds is increasing. And in the age of 55, will be 10% in equity, least risk, then again 10% in corporate bond, and 80% of total corpus will go to government bonds. So here, if you join, you can see in NPS that the early you join in NPS, the more you will get at the time of retirement. With the same investment amount, if a subscriber joins at the age of 18 and the invest 1,000, will get much amount than to the a subscriber who joins at the age of 35 or 40 with the same investment at amount. Then LC25. In LC25, this is the most safer option and least risky option of investment in NPS. Here, at the beginning itself, the investment in equity is limited to 25, but investment in corporate bonds increased to 45, and investment in government is also increased to 30. So, as the age increases, this investment in equity and corporate bonds goes down, and the investment in government bonds keeps on increasing. So by the time of 55 years, it will the investment pattern will be 5% in equity, 5% in corporate bond, and 90% in government bonds. So this is the most secured one. But at the same time, return will also be less in comparison to LC50. how after investment, discussing investment, let us talk about annuity. Annuity is a fixed monthly income which a subscriber will get against the corporate investment. Actually, annuity payment will be done at the post retirement or post exit from the system. So it is a fixed income, you have opted for some annuity service provider under some annuity service scheme, through which, on the basis of which this annuity is decided, and it is paid monthly or quarterly, whatever the period is opted by the subscriber or their dependents at the time of opting the annuity service provider. The larger the corpus size, the bigger the annuity, which means that the maximum the corpus size if your corpus will be larger, then your annuity amount will be more, because the annuity service provider, what they do is they keeps on investing your amount, and whatever the return they get, this through that return they pay you the annuity. In case of normal retirement, subscriber can annuity a minimum of 40% and maximum of 100% of their corpus for buying the annuity. Like if a subscriber superannuates at the age of 60, so he has the option to be in with the NPS and till the attaining the age of 75 years. Earlier it was 70 years, but recently government has modified and allowed that a subscriber who has attained the age of or who have been superannuated, they can continue with the NPS by the age of 75 years. So if a subscriber superannuates at the age of 50, they can keep their entire amount with the NPS. This is called a deferred payment. And after attaining the age of 75 or 65, whatever they decide, they can withdraw the amount. So they have the option to either withdraw maximum of 60% as a lump sum and invest 40% of their total corpus, or they can maximum invest up to their 100% of corpus for buying the annuity. NPS provides an option to the subscriber to decide his retirement age, by which can he be any time before 60. In such cases, subscriber can annuitize a minimum of 80% and maximum of 100% of its corpus towards buying annuity. At the time of exit from the exit, the subscriber will have an option to purchase annuity online. Earlier there was a manual system, but later on the NPS system has been updated, and all this exit option and everything is processed through online by the subscriber itself through their login ID. This annuity is provided by the annuity service provider. So annuity service provider is a life insurance company registered with and regulated by the IRDA and impaneled by the authority for providing annuity service to the subscriber of the NPS. These are registered companies with the IRDA, and they are responsible to provide the pension services or annuity services to the subscriber as per their option. They are responsible for delivering a regular monthly pension against the accumulated NPS corpus to the subscriber. So these are the list of the annuity service providers which are at present associated with the NPS. So Bajaj Allianz, Canara HSBC, Oriental Bank of Commerce Life Insurance, Edelweiss, Tokyo, LDFC, ICICI Prudential, India First Life Insurance, Kotak Mahindra, LIC, Max Life, PNB MetLife, SBI Life, Star Union, Tata AIA. You can see that in this list, there are very few from the government sector. Most are from the private sector. So this is the option of annuity selection. You suggest some in between. So some Anupam Sharma ji has asked that my suggestion on NPS and OPS. So obviously OPS is better. There is no question of saying that NPS is better. OPS is always better. So option for annuity selection. So once post superannuation when withdrawal, final withdrawal is processed by the nodal office on the request of the subscriber. So subscriber has the is required to opt for the annuity with and also the company who will be their annuity service provider. So by these are the few options which are available with ASP, like annuity for life with return of purchase price. This is a by default scheme wherein the subscriber will get annuity for lifetime. Since the subscriber till he or she is alive, they will get the pension or annuity. And on their death, the payment of annuity ceases, and 100% of the purchase price will be returned to the nominee. Which means that let us say that a subscriber who is superannuated at the age of 60 years and died after attaining the age of 70 years, so he will get the annuity for 70 years till his death at the age of 70 years, and post his or her death, the 100% of the amount for which this annuity has been purchased will be paid by the annuity service provider to his family members. So this is the by default scheme. Then there is the option of joint life annuity with return of premium purchase price. In this, the subscriber will get the annuity for the lifetime, and on the death of the subscriber, the annuity will be payable to the spouse for lifetime. And on the death of the spouse, the payment of annuity ceases, and 100% of the purchase price will be returned to the nominee. So this is something like the provision as in the old pension scheme, like the old pension scheme also, the subscriber gets the pension post his or her death, the family gets the family pension, but there is no concept of return of premium, return of purchase price. Then the next option is NPS family income with return of purchase price. Subscriber will get annuity for lifetime, and on death of the subscriber, annuity will be payable to the spouse of the subscriber for lifetime. On death of the spouse, to the dependent mother, and then to the dependent father of the subscriber. On death of the last annuitant, payment of annuity ceases, and 100% of the purchase price will be returned to the surviving children of the subscriber or the legal heirs. Annuity for life, these three options are with the return of purchase price, so means for the amount which we have been the subscriber invested for procurement of annuity. Now the options are also there without return of purchase price. Subscriber will get annuity for lifetime. On the death of the subscriber, payment of annuity ceases, no further amount will be payable. So this is the most risky option. Nobody should opt this one. In fact, nobody should opt any option with which is without return of price. I'll show you there is a slight higher income return of annuity in without return of price, but as per my understanding, everybody should go with the return of purchase price. Then joint life annuity without return of price, subscriber will get annuity for lifetime. On death of the subscriber, the family will get the spouse will get the for lifetime annuity, and on death of the spouse, the annuity will cease and no further payment amount will be payable. Then these are some of the tax benefits which are available under NPS to the subscriber. Under ATCCD1, maximum up to 1.5 lakhs. Then under ATCCD1B, it's a voluntary, maximum up to 50,000. Entire employer contribution, no limit, whatever it is, that is 14% with no limit under 80-62. Partial withdrawal is free, then complete amount of annuity purchased will be tax free. So these are the some of the tax benefits available under NPS. So now I'll discuss with you about the family pension under NPS. And when in 2004 this scheme launched, at that time there was no concept of family pension in the NPS. It was completely a contributory pension scheme, and there was no concept of pension. But later on in 2009, the government had discussed, and in May 2009, the government has extended the provisional family pension in case of the death of the subscriber. It was not final, but provisionally it was extended. So there is some other questions, sir. If I'm not... Sadiq Saab, I will show you it in through the web itself. You can calculate by your own. Just a minute, let me first finish it. I'll show you. So in 2021, on 30th of March 2021, the CCS NPS implementation rule 2021 have been notified by the Government of India, wherein they have given the provision of for family pension in the case of the death of the subscriber. So in case of death of the subscriber, benefits are payable to the family under the CCS extraordinary pension rule, or in the CCS pension rule 1972, the government contribution and return thereon in the accumulated corporate pension of the subscriber shall be transferred to the government account. Means whatever the employer contribution have been made, that will be returned to the office, nodal office, and the remaining accumulated pension corpus shall be paid in lump sum to the person in whose favor or nomination have been made under the PFRD Act. So employee contribution part will be paid to the nominee. Prior to this act, when provisional family pension was extended, by that time, when if office had to process the family pension, then the entire amount was supposed to be with the office. Only the family pension was extended to the beneficiary, but in 2021 they have amended it, and now the government said that the employee share will be paid to the family along with the family pension. So now in the case of death of subscriber who had exercised option, or in whose case the default option under Rule 10, this Rule 10 is given in 2021 rule of NPS, is for availing the benefits under the NPS. Such benefits may be granted in accordance with the PFRD Act 2015. Now, where a subscriber who did not exercise an option, like in 2021 Act, the government had given format wherein each subscriber have to opt whether they, after their death, what they want, whether they want that their family should receive family pension, or they want that their family should be treated along as per the NPS. So in case where the subscriber who had died before attaining the age of service of before completing the service of 15 years or within 3 years of notification of CCS NPS Rule 2021, his or her family will be granted family pension in accordance with the provision of CCS Pension Rule 1972 or CCS Extraordinary Pension Rule 1939, the case may be as a default option. So the rule has been notified in 2021. So if any of the employees who are covered under this NPS, and due to any reason, if he died before 2024, So if he had not exercised the option, so in that case, his family will, by default, the office will process family pension in favor of his family. The next is where a subscriber is discharged from the government service on invalidation or disability before the completion of service of 15 years or within 3 years of notification of these rules, without exercising the option under sub rule 1 of CCS LPS rule 2021, and is also not in a position post after post disablement that he can exercise the option. So by default, he will receive the pension. In all other cases where no option was exercised by the subscriber, the claim of the subscriber on discharge from the service and that on the death of the family on death of the subscriber shall be regulated according to PFRDA Act 2015 as a default option. So where in all cases where above 2 cases are not covered, so in that case the NPS will be processed as per PFRDA Act 2015. So this is the form which is notified in the 2021 Act, wherein the subscriber is required to fill it and submit it to its nodal office for further action at their end, wherein it is clearly mentioned that I hereby exercise the option in the event of my discharge from the service on account of disability or retirement from the service on account of invalidation or death during the service, the benefits under CCS Pension Rule 1972 or CCS Extraordinary Pension Rule 1939, as the case may be paid to me or my family. In the case of invalidation, the pension will be paid to the subscriber. In case of death of the subscriber, the family pension will be paid to the family member. So in Form 1, subscriber is required to opt whether what they want. In the second option, it is covered under NPS. So this is the provision. Actually, in all the places, this provision is available, but the nodal ministries of the autonomous bodies have not extended so far to their respective autonomous body. And this exercise, often exercise part have been done in the central government, and on the basis of this itself, many cases have been the family pension in many cases have been started in the during the death which had happened during COVID. But in our autonomous body, we have not so far extended it, as the government had not extended it to the office. Someone has posted some Nasifa ji there. I'll answer your question. Please wait. Let me first finish. And then in 2021 rule of NPS, there is the provision of gratuity, which is paid to the employee as a part of the retirement benefits. So actually in 2016 itself, the government had notified that there will be a provision of gratuity to the NPS subscriber, but again it was withdrawn by the government, and in 2021 again they have notified, but again it had not been extended to the central autonomous bodies. This rule shall apply to the government servant, including the civilian government servants appointed on or after the first day of January 2004, and to whom the CCS implementation rule is applicable. For the purpose of emoluments for calculating this gratuity amount, their basic pay will be taken into consideration. As of now, in 7th CPC, the maximum gratuity amount will be 20 lakhs. In NPS, there are basically 3 types of gratuity often is there. One is retirement gratuity, another is invalidation, and third one is on death. So for retirement and invalidation, this rule will be applicable. A government servant who has completed 5 years of service as a qualifying service and who retires on attaining the age of superannuation or on invalidation, retires or is retired in advance of the age of superannuation in accordance with Rule 56 of the Fundamental Rules of 1922, or CCS implementation, Rule 12 of the CCS implementation of NPS rule, or being declared surplus to the establishment in which he is serving, or for a special voluntary retirement scheme relating to VRS of surplus employee. This third one option was given by once BSNL was going down, so they had given this option to their employees. The next one was has been permitted to be absorbed in service or post in or under corporation or company wholly or substantially owned or controlled by the central government or state government, or under a body of control or financed by the central government or state government. And the last option is shall on his retirement be granted retirement gratuity equal to 1/4. So this amount will be 1/4 of his total his emoluments for each completed 6 months period of qualifying service, subject to a maximum of 16.5 times of the emoluments. So in case if an employee completed his service, so maximum 16.5 times of his emoluments will be paid as a gratuity, and with a ceiling of 20 lakhs. So this is the case of the death gratuity. This gratuity is paid against the length of the service. So length of qualifying service is less than, if it is less than 1 year, then 2 times of the emoluments, means 2 times of the basic pay will be paid. Whatever the basic pay will be there at the time of death, so 2 times of that will be paid. If it will be if the service qualifying service period is more than 1 year but less than 5 years, then 6 times of emoluments. If it is more than 5 years but less than 11 years, then 12 times of emoluments. If it is between 11 years and less than 20 years, then 20 times of emolument. And if it is more than 20 years, then half of emoluments are completed 6 months, which means that maximum of 16.5. So this is the definition of the family. Actually, for every payment, family definition is different. So for gratuity, it is, this is the definition. So the wife will be there, whether judicially separated wife will also be covered. Then husband or including judicially separated husband, sons or step-sons, adopted sons, unmarried daughters, including step-daughters, widows, divorced daughters, father, including adopted parents, mother, including adopted parents, brother below the age of 18 years, unmarried sister and or widow sisters, married daughters and children of a predeceased son. So here, like in pension, if a wife is alive, so by default the first payment will goes to the wife till she is alive. But in the gratuity, the rule is something different. Like if nomination is mentioned, entire amount will be paid to the person nominee. If no nomination is mentioned, then all those whose details are mentioned from 1 to 5 in this slide, the first chance will be given to them and equal share will be paid to them. If no one is alive or from 1 to 5, then again 6 to 11 will be considered, and whoever is alive from this equal share will be distributed among them. So this slide I have actually kept just to brief you about that medical facility under this NPS. Prior to 2017, there was no information whether in case of death of the employee, what CGHS benefit will be extended to their family members. In 2017, the government has notified that if a subscriber with a minimum years of qualifying service, that is minimum 10 years of qualifying service, eligible for CGHS membership after retirement. Like if an employee who is superannuated before completing 10 years of service will not be will not get medical facility from their CGHS office or from their concerned office at CGHS rate. But in case of death, no minimum service is required. So suppose an employee who has joined and after 4 or 5 months he died because of accident or anything. So in that case, his family will be eligible to get the medical benefit as per CGHS norm. Other conditions of the definition of family, everything will be depend on the existing rule. This is something new. NPS to OPS. Actually, there were cases like selection procedures were happened prior to 1st of January 2004, but due to any administrative reason, the offer letter was not issued to the employee, and the employee joined after 114 in spite of their selection before 114/2004. So after lots of representation from the employee unions, employees concerned who were covered under the case, so government in 2020 had given an option to all the NPS covered employees whose appointment procedures have been completed in 2003 itself, but due to any administrative reason, and they were also declared successful in the recruitment process, but due to any reason, the offer was not issued to them. So the government had given them an option that you have an option, you can either opt for old pension scheme or you can continue with the NPS. So employee was required to exercise the option, and more than almost thousands of employees across the nation have got the benefit of this, and now they have been shifted to old pension scheme. This is something I have tried to show you the comparison between GPF, CPF, and NPS. The General Provident Fund was discontinued, that is pension scheme was discontinued from 1st of April 2004. In this, the minimum contribution was 6% of emoluments, a maximum 100% of basic pay, subject to a limit. Now the government has again put a limit that in no case the contribution will exceed 5 lakhs. And at the same time, there was a scheme, Contributory Provident Fund, which was something like NPS itself, wherein the government employee is required to contribute 10% of emolument and 100% of maximum up to 100% of emolument, and employer was again limited to 10%. There is a big difference between the CPF and NPS as per of contribution is concerned. In CPF, there was no DA, only basic pay was there, or but in NPS, DA is included. So there was another benefit was there in the CPF and GPF. Death linked insurance scheme was there, that if an employee died after 5 years of service and having minimum balance during the 3 years, an additional amount of rupees 60,000 was paid on death to his or family. And in CPF, in the same scheme, the limit was 30,000. But there is no any provision of DLIS in NPS. So I have already explained you that in NPS, withdrawal was very much limited, only 3 times in the entire service. But in GPF or CPF, there was no any limit. In fact, you can withdraw 3 or 4 times in a year itself from this GPF for this purpose. And the limit is also, I have mentioned that up to 90% for this housing, repayment of outstanding housing loans, purchase of house sites, then reconstruction work, and up to 12 months basic pay or 3/4 of the total credit at the time of withdrawal, whichever is less, for education, obligatory expenses, illness, and purchase of consumer durables. So you can see that in NPS, the withdrawal in limited in case of number, in case of purpose. So in NPS, they had given a central grievance management system also option, wherein you can put your grievance online, and the grievance, once you will read, it will directly goes to your nodal office, and the nodal office have to answer in, I believe, 72 hours. For this raising the grievance, you have to simply log in with your account, and you have, under grievance you can raise any of the grievance, and nodal office has to answer it. And if a nodal office won't answer, it will be escalated to higher authority. The best part is that once you will raise the grievance, immediately an email alert will be sent to the nodal office that something has raised, someone has raised the grievance, and it is centrally monitored by the PFRDA. So these are some of the common issues which we as an office observe that, like post joining the organization, the subscriber submit CSRF form, which is a registration form, very late to the subscribe to the office. So once you will submit form to your office, the office will check it, process it, and then send it through the by post to the POP office for generation of the plan. So it takes, there is lots of process involved, so it takes time. Then many times it happens, particularly during the COVID period, we have experienced it, that we used to submit the form to the POP office, and POP office either delay, or due to COVID our office delayed. So the ultimate result is that the plan generation gets delayed, and the subscriber contribution transfer also get delayed. Many times subscribers submit incomplete form. You can check with your subscriber account that whether bank details, mobile number, email ID, and nomination, these four are very much mandatory. Like if you want to process your withdrawal at any point of time, so your all bank details must be fully updated. Otherwise, you won't be able to process the earlier when the system was not updated. So at that time, withdrawal was processed without complete bank details also, only with the account number and IFSC code it can be processed. But now other details are also required, and the subscriber is required to upload their either passbook copy or bank statement copy, and with the this or cancel check copy with the portal. Then in some offices, it is also observed that there's transfer contribution quite late. So in this case also, the subscribers amount investment get delayed. In some cases, we have seen that like post retirement, the subscriber process withdrawal quite late, which ultimately results in without informing the office whether they want withdrawal, or they want to defer the withdrawal. So these are some of the challenges which I believe, like no defined pension scheme is there. In many of the cases, post superannuation employees are getting hardly 5 to 8% annuity per month of their last pay. Okay. Somebody has asked about this, so let me tell you that in one of the case in my institute, the subscriber was actually inducted in the service quite late. So post his retirement, his total per month pension was around 1,000 per month. There is no minimum assured return, negative return in the current financial year. I have already mentioned that during the Ukraine-Russia war, the market was down, and there was a negative return posted in NPS. No gratuity for central autonomous body as of now. Yes, it is still there for the central government offices, but it has not been extended so far to the central autonomous body, or the same case might be possible in the state government also, state autonomous body. No family pension for central autonomous body as of now. Still, although the family pension provision is there in the NPS Act itself. Please mute your mic. Soon I will complete. No family pension for CAPS. Still, it is under consideration at the government level, and there are lots of court cases is also there, wherein the deceased family members have approached to the court for getting the benefit, but it still nothing has happened. But it is already there in for central government employees. Withdrawal is very much limited to 3 times in the entire service. So although I have the money, but I can't withdraw. And the withdrawal is limited to employees' contribution part only. Since it's a market link, so you can't say that what benefit, whether you will get the benefit or you will lose the money. Non-linking of annuity with inflation. So once your annuity is fixed, so whatever the inflation rate is there, nothing will be changed. It will be fixed for the entire lifetime. Like in old pension scheme, dearness relief is keeps on changing as per the inflation. But in NPS, once the annuity is fixed post superannuation, it will not be changed. According to me, these are some of the measures which is required to be taken for improvement in NPS. There must be a minimum assured return. At least the government should ensure that the rate of return should be fixed. Like in GPF or CPF, it is there. Like at present, the 7.1% is there. So in any case, whether it is war situation or whatever the situation going on, there is no effect of that in the GPF CPF contribution or its rate of return, but it directly affects the NPS. The annuity should be linked with the inflation. As the inflation goes up, the annuity amount should also be increased. Family pension and gratuity both must be extended to the central autonomous body. These are the some of the forms which are helpful to each of the employee or the subscriber. Like CSRF form is there for registration with the NSDL. After filling which the PRAN is generated. Then intersector shifting one form is there for shifting from one sector, like from central to state, state to central, or from private to central, or central to private. Then S2 form is there for subscriber detail change. So if you have to change any of your detail in your account, then you have to fill this form and submit it with the supporting documents to your nodal office, and the nodal office will change it. There is also an inter-CRA shifting form, like somebody is working in an organization where NSDL is there, working as a CRA, and joins a new organization where KFIN is there. So in that case, the new office have to get filled the inter-CRA shifting form from the subscriber, and after that, this subscriber, nodal office have to submit it to the new CRA itself, and the new CRA will map the subscriber to the These are some of the website which will be helpful to each of you, wherein lots of details are there. Okay, so I have completed my presentation part, and now I want to show you people something. Someone has asked about this pension, how to calculate the pension. See, this is the NPS Trust website. So here under subscriber, calculate the pension needs is there. And here you can fill your details. Like let us say someone's date of birth is let us say 1st of November, and so he is 22-year-old, and if he contribute 1,000 per month at the age of 16, by the age of 16, that is his retirement age, his total contribution year will be 38 years. Let us say that he expects the return only at the rate of GPM, that is 7%, and want to purchase equity up to 40% of his total corpus with a rate of return of 6% on this year. So in that case, 4,500 per month will be his monthly pension. Now, just change one thing. Expected return you just increase to 9 or 10%. See, everything is same, but this pension is increased to 10,000 from 4,000. So it all depends on how market goes, and this amount will certainly increase. It will not be 1,000 in any case. Something will like this in this period will be 10,000 per month on an average. So pension amount will be certainly calculated. Here you can see here you can see that total corpus amount is around 5 crore after investment of 45 lakhs. So from here you can check it. And then from this page, you can see and you can check everything about your, you can log in and check and just show with my login. So this is the home page. Here you can see, you can contribute online from here. You can change your scheme preference from here. You can change your pension fund manager from here. You can transfer fund from your tier 2 to tier 1, but not from tier 1 to tier 2. Initiate, you can initiate subscriber shifting. And in this transaction statement is there from where you can see what is your present corpus. Voluntary contribution statement, whatever you have voluntarily made. Then in this, you can change your demographic details. You can log grievance from here. And you can change your personal details and everything from here. You can see your nodal and download S1 form from here. And this S1 is nothing but the CSRF1 form only. Then tier 2 withdrawal, you can initiate. Tier 1 partial withdrawal, you can initiate from here. And can exit from NPS from here. And once you will process all these exercises, it will go to your respective nodal office, and nodal office have to pre-approve it. This is all everything I've shown in my slides also. So you can reset your password. This I have shown in live. I'm skipping it. So thank you from my side. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Thank you, sir, for a very detailed presentation on NPS. Next speaker has joined, but I think got disconnected again. So he's joining so far. We can take few questions. In chat box, one question is there, taking into consideration price inflation. with NPS, monthly pension after retirement will be very less or even insufficient. What solution do you recommend in order to maintain sufficient income after retirement?
Sir, where it is? I'm not getting.
Chat box. Chat.
Yeah, taking into consideration the price inflation with NPS monthly pension after retirement will be very less or even insufficient. What solution do you recommend in order to maintain sufficient income after retirement? See, I am not any like uh, person who can financially advise you, but it is you have to make it by your own because NPS is fixed. So we do not have any option for that. You have to arrange go for some other investment also so that you can get it benefited. Might be possible that in future some government may come up with some good solution, but as of now, no solution is there. In fact, in a meeting with the ministry, I was there. So I had asked with them about this minimum amount, like minimum return on NPS. So they said that as of now, nothing is there, and they are working on that. But almost more than 3 years have been passed, but nothing has happened in the last 3 years. So again, I should say that you should consult some financial advisor who can actually advise you how to get benefited, do some other investment.
Okay, sir. Any idea about tax on Tier 2 corpus, withdrawal from Tier 2?
Sir, Tier 2 is taxable.
It's taxable. Taxable at what rate?
It's the taxable earlier, but recently they have given an option that you can opt for Tier 2 investment in non-taxable scheme. So you have to invest according to that. So the return will be certainly limited to that.
Now, if we withdraw cash, in that
Yes,
case,
sir.
it is taxable.
It will be taxable, sir. Certainly.
So taxable at what rate, sir? It is as per
No, as
slab?
per normal rate, as per
Normal rate.
tax,
So-
normal tax slab rate.
Actually, this is going to be debt security kind of, but it is not treated as like that. Simple income.
Yes, sir. It is simple. It's like you keep either in your bank account or in your Tier 2 account.
Okay. So there is no benefit of investment in equity or debt, that kind of.
No, there is benefit, sir. You will get the higher return.
No, return is there. No, return is there, but I'm talking about tax. If I sell something in equity or debt, so some benefits are there in that tax treatment.
No, in Tier 2 account they had started the provision, but in like I had invested, opened my Tier 2 account in 2015 itself, but at that time there was no provision.
Okay.
So in my part, it is showing that I am in taxable part, but now their tax saving schemes are also launched.
Okay, so one provision is there that if I take premature exit before 60 years,
Yes, sir.
then 80% will be compounded and will go for that annuity.
Annuity, yes, sir.
Yeah. So just suppose I am taking pre-retirement at say 50 years, 55 years of age.
Yes.
So 80% will be compounded. Compounded means will go for annuity.
It will go for annuity.
Yes. But when pension will start? Immediately after or
immediately?
Immediately.
As you have exited from the system, so immediately pension will be started.
Pension will start.
Yes.
So it is not deferred.
No.
And something you mentioned about gratuity also, sir. Gratuity for people covered under NPS.
Yes, sir.
So is it not given to university employees?
No, sir. So far it is not extended.
Okay, but for others, I think extended. I saw
it is there for central government employee. It is there for central government employee, but for autonomous body, it has not been extended by the government. Court cases have been also done by the family members, but still it is pending. Particularly for Ministry of Education, it is big financial deal. So that's why they are still not extending. As you must be aware, sir, during COVID, lots of deaths were there. In fact, in particularly in North India, we can say that there was no institution where 3 or 4 cases of NPS was not there. So it was very tough for also to extend it.
Okay. Another question was there in question box from Sadiq Ahmad, but you have already answered that question, how to calculate fund.
Yeah, I have shown him.
It's already shown you the calculator.
Yes,
so
sir.
that is fine. Okay, so that's all the questions we had, sir. Thank you for your time and
Thank you, sir,
giving us
for
very
giving me the
good.
opportunity for sharing my with the and interacting with the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.